Hey, what's going on, guys? So, today I want to talk about integrity. This is so important because what integrity means is what you're doing when no one else is watching, and this really hits right at home because um, we're always trying to keep everybody happy. We're trying to keep our parents happy. We're trying to keep our friends happy. If we're in a relationship, we're trying to keep them happy. We're trying to keep our boss happy. Anyone else in our social circle. But, when you finally realize that you can't make everybody happy, it's impossible. And, the more spot in this limelight, the more sort of like famous you get, the more well known you get, at least. There's gonna be love, but there's gonna be more hate. And it's unavoidable. And you kind of after a while shift your perspective from thinking for yourself, thinking critically, taking in all the information that you have available to you and really working hard at that and coming up with the best, most sound, viable conclusion to what you're seeking, and not be so easily influenced. So yeah, integrity. Integrity is self-respect. Integrity is, what are you doing when no one else is watching? And when you do that, guys, like when you do that repeatedly, where you're doing what you think is best repeatedly, regardless of what anybody else thinks, you build that self-respect, and that's the most powerful respect you can have, is respect for yourself. Because when you do that, it builds confidence, and that confidence exuberates onto people, and people start looking at you differently anyways, so I think we really need to get around this this whole self-help thing being viewed in a negative light. Whereas if you're spending too much time on yourself, you don't care about the people in your life, or sometimes you have to say no to things, to your friends or your family, to prioritize. You should absolutely try to be the best person for everyone around you. That's not what I'm saying, but when you're working on yourself, when you build that self-confidence, that integrity, you're increasing your capacity, right? The capacity to give, because you see an example of like someone that means well, that is doing the right thing, that is trying to give value to someone, to do a good deed, to do a favor, to be the kindly neighbor, but they haven't worked on themselves enough to where they have a large enough capacity and a large enough reach to make a big difference. Because don't we want to make a big difference in life? Don't we want to really impact a lot of people and not just do a handful of nice things for a handful of people a couple of times? The only way to get to that level is to really work on yourself. Because think of yourself as like the vessel. Think of yourself as the vehicle in which the value and the good that you can provide people. The more hours you spend on yourself, the more of an ability you have to give to people and do more good, right? So when you take that time to work on yourself, or you take that time to do what you think is right when nobody else is watching, you know, even if it's not the popular opinion, you know, when you act like a leader, you know, when you think for yourself, you know, when you do all these things, it builds your self-respect, you know, and that makes you a better person, because also the advice that you're getting or the good deeds that you're doing, you know, you're personifying that confidence that you have in yourself because you love yourself and you trust yourself, and you have a proven track record of the things that you've set out to do that you've actually done. You have that self-respect. People are going to pick up on that, and you know, they're more likely to want to follow you, to want to listen to you. You know, they might even think of you as like a role model, you know. But if you're always so concerned with just running around making everyone happy, you know, you're not going to be able to ever have the time to really build yourself enough to do the most good. So, you know, it's sort of a temporary sacrifice, but in the long run, it'll pay off for the most good for most people. So, there we go, guys. Little life video coming at you today. Hope you liked it.